jack of all trades, and being retired has given me the opportunity to kind of do just whatever the heck I want, really. I'm big into community service, though, and I'm big into racing. I really love racing.
And that brings us to
right. So Circuit Hawaii.
Circuit Hawaii.
I'm actively in the process of building and developing a motorsports facility. It's going to be what they call a FIA Grade 3 motorsports facility, which means that we are going to have not only local racing, but national and international racing on the highest level, really. I mean, one of the highest levels. It's not a Formula One track, but it'll be a track that we are going to see stuff like Trans Am Series, GT World Challenge, and, NHRA, these big series, that have never been a part of Hawaii, really, not on a big scale. We're going to have the opportunity to see that here. And I think it fits in perfectly for Hawaii because we've got sun, sand, beaches, wonderful food, incredible tourist industry, hotels. The only thing we don't have is motorsports. And when you plug motorsports into it, it just works. Last year we had over 10 million people show up on this island, and the way motorsports works is really like these people that go and participate in motorsport. They do what they call an arrive and drive experience. They'll go out and rent a Lamborghini or they'll rent a Miata, whatever. They'll go experience the track for a while. But, while they're doing that, their family's just kind of like, well, what are we doing? The wife or the kids, so one of the great things about being in Hawaii is you can come do that. And then once you're done racing, you can actually go experience the island. So that's a huge draw.
So it's going to bring a tourist draw.
Yeah, it'll help
try out
supplement
the cars and stuff.
It'll increase the expenditure. I think that's not necessarily bringing more tourists, but I think it will help increase the expenditure that tourists do in Hawaii,
right?
Which will be much more beneficial than actually bringing in more tourists. But yeah, if we have a big race here, if you can think about it like the Pro Bowl of motorsports, that's what it would be, and the economic stimulus that can create for our community will be tremendous. You're talking about all the mom and pop tuning shops will come back. The restaurants will have an impact, the hotel industry, everything related to, that facility will grow. Our education, auto trade schools will become more popular. We'll have programs with the universities. We'll be able to provide training for like commercial driver's licensing, trucks, and other things like HPD, Honolulu Fire Department, VIP training, SWAT training.
Have a place for them to train.
Right.
Yeah,
finally,
they're losing those places to train right now.
Exactly. So there's so much opportunity. When you think about the opportunities and what you could do if you had a large property, which we do, that's what it is. And, we've been without a track since 2006. It's time we brought it back.
Really, so I remember that track way back in the past. It's like there was always people there, Saturdays and Friday nights, you go there and you see cars race and you pay to get a ticket and go in.
And it was a family thing too. There's people that grew up there at the track every weekend. And now there's kids who are 18 years old and are driving 400 horsepower cars straight from the factory and they've never even seen a track. So it's something about providing an opportunity for them to get back on track, to learn how to be responsible drivers, to learn car control, and to give them a place to go as opposed to doing it on the streets.
Right, because you want them to race in a place where they can race, not in a race on the streets.
It's not going to,
freeway.
Not everybody's going to, there's always going to be people that race on the streets.
Sure.
But at least we're giving them an opportunity. And what we are doing is essentially at least a 1.5 mile road course with a 1/8 mile drag strip. It'll have, a dirt track. It'll have skid pad, wet and dry skid pad,
You have like monster trucks.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to be able to do anything and everything. Nice. And we're not going to just do automotive. It's going to be non-automotive. So festivals, we're going to be able to do cycling and biking and marathons. And, just think about what you could do if you had a chunk of land, and
like those big outdoor concerts and stuff.
Right. And it's in a suitable area. It's an industrial area. We're going to be far away from the residential areas. It's right next to an active runway, We're going to have that whole arrive and drive experience with exotics. So, you can do the whole Ferrari, I want to run a Lamborghini or whatever. And, or you can learn how to drive. There's just so much that you can do. And what that does, really, the whole point of it, the whole point of the way we're doing it is to offset the costs for the local community so that, as an enthusiast, a local one, you're not having to pay an arm and a leg to go race. all these other things that we're doing will help to keep the cost down, as opposed. And I personally think that private is the way to go because the city and state are so strapped.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. No, wouldn't have the city do that.
It wouldn't be. I don't think it's being fiscally responsible, really.
Right.
We're already taxed, way overtaxed. Yeah.
Well, we'll mention the rail.
Yeah. Thank you. But I mean, obviously, we've got some serious issues with infrastructure and things that need to be fixed. I think that should be the priority. So, private development essentially allows for us to just do it on our own.
So, where's this going to be at?
Campbell Industrial Park. It's 0.2 miles south of the old racetrack. So, the old racetrack, Hawaii Racer Park, was there since 1964. So, it's the perfect location. It's known for that area. And like I said, it's next to the airport. It's only 10 minutes drive from Ko'olina. So we're hitting up, those wealthy and affluent people that maybe want to fly in and land their plane at Kaliloa, their chartered plane, and then just come over and take a little race around the track and then go hang out, at Ko'olina or whatever, So it's a great way to supplement, costs, like I said, so.
Yeah, and you're putting more attraction out west. So people aren't having to trek in the traffic all the way into town and stuff.
That is one of the things I think that most people really don't even, you just hit a point that I think is amazing, because there's areas that are way more traffic than they should be. Kailua, for example, or some of these really hard hit places. So we can actually maybe draw a little bit of that away from that and put it into an area where on the weekends, there's nobody there. There's nobody in Campbell on a Saturday.
Right.
Where, maybe we can take a little bit of pressure off of those places and bring it out to an area where there's there's room to grow a little bit. And I think that's actually a big one. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, no, maybe it will have an effect. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think it will actually, because I mean, when you've got
the rail is going to be in that area too, right?
Right. So there'll be some, obviously, with 52 acres compared to like a world-class track on the mainland circuit of America. I mean, you're talking a couple, almost 1,000 acres, maybe more. That's
you're not gonna find that here,
right? No, but we can augment that like the way the Aloha Stadium does when they have a big event like Bruno Mars or Guns N' Roses. Not all the parking is there; they do the shuttle thing. So same thing with us when we hold a big event, we'll be out there, and use those available parking lots in the area and just shuttle people in and out. So the majority of our facility will be racing surfaces.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about it. We are really far into it, and we've done a good job. We've got the property lined up. We've done our topographic survey, we've done our botanical, we've done our archaeological, and thankfully nothing has been found so far. And we're going to monitor that, of course, but it's moving right along. It's happening. It's not a proposal, it's a development. It's happening. So